We are live from New York City. It is Monday night. We go. Got a nice little display here. Just waiting for some people to join. Fortunately, there is not good news coming out of New York City right now. Oh, that looks good. Oh, there. Just waiting for some people to start streaming in the room. I know it's a bit late, guys, but I am off from work for the next couple of weeks. So I thought I'd have a little fun here, do a couple live streams. Okay. Wonder what's going on with that. Oh, I don't have my internet on here. Good day, Peter. Thank you for joining. Have the internet on now, so should not lose the signal again. As you can see in the background, I have the Perth Mint mintages for the Australian Lunar Series 3 for 2025, the gold, silver, and platinum. I don't know if you could see so well. My camera's not the best. Zoom in a little here if you're interested in doing a little reading. Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately, there was a shooting tonight in Manhattan, which is one of the 5 boroughs in New York City, the main borough. And it occurred at, what was it, 345 Park Avenue. And unfortunately, a company that I just recently worked for has an office in that building. So I'm very familiar with the area. I didn't have to work in that building, but I do pass by that building all the time when I do go to the Diamond District, and then I decide to walk over to Stacks, just 10 blocks away, located on Park Avenue, approximately 7 blocks away. So I'm very familiar with that area, and it's just a tragedy. I don't know exactly the situation, what happened, but there were apparently, I believe, 4 victims, and the gunmen were killed. So I don't know what the motivation was behind that. If I had to guess, it might have been a disgruntled employee. That's my best guess. I don't know what happened, but we'll find out, I'm sure, in the coming days exactly what transpired. They found a high power rifle along with a picture of the suspect. I've seen it already. So we'll see what the motivation behind that was. Really very tragic. Anytime there is a loss of life, very tragic situation. I'm sure the police responded quickly. They showed one of the office buildings there. I believe it might have been of BlackRock. I don't know if that, I think that might have been the company this sick individual was targeting. You saw they actually do have drills for shooters, active shooter drills in that company, I believe I was reading. So it's very sad situation that we're living in. They had couches barricading door entrance to a certain floor of that building. So I'm sure the quick response of the NYPD, among other people and law enforcement agencies, prevented this from being far more tragic. So it's just a shame. I don't know exactly what happened. So who else is in this room right now? We have about 8 people watching. You know me, Peter. Yeah. Hey, what's going on? Check. Good to see you. Yeah, yeah. I know it's terrible. Um, I don't know. I don't know what this world is coming to. I just don't know anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Scotch tonight. I don't know. The Goldschlager is just a little. Hey, what's going on, Nick? Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. I'm going with the Oban single malt Scotch tonight. I'm gonna have a little bit of that. Take it easy. I had a little bit too much to drink Saturday night. Unfortunately, I drank cheap alcohol, and it caused me to have a rare hangover. Rarely, extremely rarely get hangovers unless I have cheap alcohol. So I tend not to drink that stuff anymore. So yeah, what's going on in the world of precious metals? I haven't really been hearing much. Prices have been up and down. Hasn't really. I know silver has gone down quite a bit. So yeah, it's might be a little bit of an opportunity right now. A little bit of a dip, not much. What is going on here? Here we go. Yeah. Sorry, Jonathan. You're not going to be. Thank you for whoever did that. I appreciate that. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just chilling tonight. I'm off. Unfortunately, I got. So I'm actually gonna be starting a new job, and I was professional. Today people rarely give notice. I do consulting work. I go from project to project. So it's at will employment, so they could let me go at any given time. So I basically was professional. I decided to give them 2 weeks notice, and unfortunately, about a day later, they let me go. So yeah, not fun. Hey, what's going on, Avocado? I'm just chilling tonight. It's a little late for me. I'm on the East Coast. Got some Scotch here, single malt Scotch, my favorite. Hey, what's going on, OC? Good to see you. Good to see you. About to take a swig of this. Cheers. Oh. Oh yeah, that's some good stuff. Not like the cheap Scotch that I had the other night. Actually tasted pretty good. They added some cinnamon and some honey to it. So I could probably do that at home, but I don't know how it's going to change the flavor profile. I kind of don't want to do it for an expensive Scotch. Yeah, so I don't know, guys. I'm just up right now. I was just saying, I do management consulting work, and I go from project to project, and I gave them 2 weeks notice, and like a day later they let me go. So yeah, they fired me. I was gonna work an extra week and a half, but yeah, they decided to let me go early. So I got a few weeks off right now. So I'm just chilling, trying to enjoy myself. The weather here is extremely hot and humid lately. It's going to be 97 degrees tomorrow, so I'm not looking forward to that. 97 F to C. Let's see. So that's approximately 36.1 degrees Celsius, Peter. It's going to be tomorrow. and that's not factoring in the humidity or the heat index. It's probably going to be feel a lot hotter than that even. So yeah. Yeah, I did OC. I definitely found a better position. It's going to be paying a little bit more, and I'm going to be in management again. So should be hopefully be a little less stressful for me personally. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. I know it's basically the same type of work I was doing on this last project. So hopefully it'll be a much better situation for me. I really can't wait. It's gonna be completely I'll be completely remote, so I love working remote. So yeah. You wanna trade temperatures, Peter? You could come here and I'll go over there. I love the cold weather. I prefer the cold weather over the hot weather, to be honest. I know as people tend to get older, they tend to prefer the warmer weather, but I've always enjoyed the cold weather more. I really, for me personally, I can't stand the hot weather. That's why I probably couldn't live anywhere below where I'm living now. It's already pretty bad here. We have the four seasons. I just can't imagine people who live in the South or California, Southern California. Um, not my favorite type of weather, to be honest. Sell you that buffalo. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. They actually did have two more of these from 2006. If you want one, you could go on their website, Bullion Exchanges, see what years they have. If you're interested, I'm sure they constantly get this stuff in stock. So it's just a beautiful coin. Really very fortunate and blessed to be able to pick this up. Hey, what's going on, Transient? Good to see you. I know you got the 2008 quarter ounce proof 70 Buffalo. Yeah, Silver Dave is selling those for spot now. Wow, is that the proof version or the BU version? Because I know I have seen the BU version for spot now as well. There's just been such a huge sell-off of silver and gold lately that you could get a lot of these coins at or close to spot. Oh, BU, yeah, that's what I thought. Because I know the proof has a little bit of a premium over spot. But yeah, that's a really good deal. I mean, I think the premiums on Buffaloes are probably the lowest they've ever been. Um, Usually, it used to be that the Buffalo had a slightly higher premium over the AGE, but these days, I mean, it's crazy. You could even get these things for spot, like you said, nowadays. So I'd probably take advantage of the situation right now. I know the spot price is a bit high, but as far as the premium over spot, it's extremely low right now. So yeah, you want the 2000? Yeah, I was actually gonna get it. I probably should have jumped on it. Someone was selling the non-proof version recently. Well, not that recently, but earlier in the year, I saw someone selling it for a very reasonable price. But I kind of wanted the proof one, so I was like, I think I'm gonna hold off on it. But yeah, I'm a little sorry I didn't buy that one because it was an extremely good price, and now it's probably like a couple $100 more. I'm here in Ordinary Man City. Where would that be? In Texas? Yeah. Where you at today? Where you at, Transient? Where in the world is Transient? I remember last time you were in Texas. You said you were going through. Oh man, I can't remember where in Texas. somewhere in Texas. Not Nacogdoches. Where the hell was that? I don't remember. Yeah, that was a few days ago though. On Saturday, I think. Grape. Fresno. Waco. He's in Waco. No, he wasn't in Waco. He was in I don't know, somewhere in West Texas. Grape. What is that supposed to mean, transient? Fresno. That's near where Ordinary Man is. Oh, Lubbock. Yeah, that's what it was. Lubbock, Texas. That's where it was. You guys got some weird names for cities in Texas, you know. It's like Bee Cave, Texas. Um, you don't say Buddha, Texas. It's like Buddha. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's basically spelled like Buddha, Texas. I was like, what? You guys got some weird names. There's a dime box, Texas. No joke, dime box, Texas. Seriously, look it up if you don't believe me. Who else is in here? I don't see too many people. All right. Yeah. So what have you guys been picking up? I did buy on the weekend. What did I buy? I bought a really nice Morgan dollar. I'm gonna get graded. I was gonna do a video, but I guess I could show you guys a little sneak peek of it. I don't know where the hell. So basically, I got some coins together. I'm probably gonna send off to NGC maybe this week or next week. And I'm hoping for some excuse me, I'm hoping for some really good grades on some of these. I can't even find that coin I had. I'm gonna submit. But I have oh, here we go. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so I got this on the weekend. I picked up this 1921S Morgan. I don't know, my guy at the flea market seemed to think there was something special about the finish on this, that it was kind of like the one that they used on the Peace Dollar, but I don't know. It's in really nice condition though. Pretty nice. Probably grade of 62-ish. So we'll see if there's anything special about this. I'm gonna submit this. And he actually showed me he sold me an 1878 a few weeks back, and I don't know if this is proof-like. It really looks very nice. I don't know if it's proof-like, guys. What do you think? Probably someone just dipped this. I don't know. But I think this is the 8 tail feathers from 1878. I've just never seen a first year look this good before, you know. It's probably gonna grade about a 62 also, 61, 62, if I had to guess. But I don't know, there's just something about this finish. It's probably just been dipped. I don't know if it's proof like or not. I'm not really an expert on Morgans, but I don't know, guys. What do you think? It just looks really nice condition. A lot of luster on this coin, so we'll see. Yeah, I know. It's kind of, that's why it's kind of hard to tell. You see, it has like that. I don't know. It's kind of. I think it's just been dipped, to be honest, but I really don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. It's just really lustrous for some reason. Yeah, it has a good cartwheel on it, so I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out when I submit it. Probably not proof-like, but someone probably just dipped it. Yeah, and I got a couple Morgans, a couple other ones. I don't know if I'm gonna submit this one. 1901 has a little something on it. I might just dip that. I think that's dirt. So 19010 might be worth a little bit. And then I got some like semi-key year peace dollars. I got the 1928S. I already have one graded in, I believe it's XF40, so this one's probably a little nicer. This one might be around a 50, so this one might be good to get graded. And then I have the 1934, I believe it's S, I'm not sure. 1934, not in the best condition, might have been cleaned even, I don't know. So I'm gonna get a couple of those peace dollars graded. And I do have some gold. I'm gonna show that in a video. So I'm just gonna basically show everything I'm gonna get graded. I have a number of coins here. I'm gonna probably do a video this week and show you guys what I'm gonna submit. I have about a dozen coins so far I'm gonna submit. I don't think he knows about nickel and women's basketball, so yeah, I don't know. I foolishly bought a Superman medal from US Mint. I probably regret it since they didn't sell out. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The US Mint is hit or miss. You know, they came out with the remember the cowboy, the gold coin that came out a couple years ago? I had the opportunity to buy it from the US Mint. I canceled my subscription the last minute, and then I was kind of sorry I did. And then someone actually offered it to me at the issue price, because when it first came out, it wasn't popular, and I don't think it sold out right away either. It did sell out within like a few weeks, I think, but it wasn't really that popular. And so that coin went from like $2,500, I think that was the issue price, to being worth about 10 grand in about a year or two. So I kind of am kicking myself. I always do that. I'm always presented with opportunities that I never take, and they always turn out to be extremely good opportunities. And you know, same thing with those privy mark, you know, ASCs. You know, I'm like, I'm not gonna spend $110 on a Army or Marine like privy mark. I'm like, why would I want to pay that? And now those things are going for like $400 or something, you know. So I don't know, man. You might want to hold on to that Superman coin. You never know how much that thing might be worth in another year or two from now. It might actually be worth a lot. So they're actually I believe in another 2 days, they're coming out with the Sacagawea 1/2 ounce 2025 gold coin. So I don't know, that's like hit or miss also. To be determined, the price. It's 2 days before, guys, the release, and they haven't released the price yet. I don't know why. Gold has been relatively stable the past few months. It's been hovering between like, I guess like 3250 and 3550-ish range. So, you know, it's a 10, plus or minus 10% pretty much. So I'm not sure why they're waiting till the very last minute. I guess they're afraid that the price is gonna spike or something. And then basically that's what happened in 2008 when they issued the buffaloes and all the gold coins. The price of PMs spiked because of with the subprime mortgage crisis that happened. So they were actually selling gold buffaloes under melt. So I don't think they want to be in that situation again, the US Mint. So I guess that's why they're waiting till the very last minute, because they see there's been a lot of instability in the price of gold. But who knows? I mean, you know, half an ounce of gold is what's the spot, like $1,750, somewhere around there. So I'm sure it's probably going to be around 2,500 bucks for that coin. It wouldn't surprise me. So we'll see what happens with that coin. That might be another sleeper. I don't know. The Sacagawea dollar was highly popular 25 years ago. Now, I'm sure most kids under 25 have never heard of it. So who knows what's going to happen with that coin. A lot of US commemorative coins are not that popular. They don't really command high premiums. Hey, what's going on, Joseph? Sorry I didn't say hi to you sooner. How are you doing? Good to see you, Renee. I own a high luster 1885 Morgan. What is it actually worth? About melt? It really depends on the grade. You know, I had a couple of 1885 O's that I submitted to, I believe it was PCGS, it might have been NGC. They came back mostly 62, 63. It really depends on the grade. So, you know, without seeing it and without it being graded, I really couldn't tell you the value. You could go on to NGC's website. They actually do have a price guide, and I find that fairly accurate as to market values of what things actually are selling for. I know PCGS also gives an estimated price, but their prices tend to be unrealistic. I think NGC's prices are closer to reality. You could basically just go to eBay and you can type in the coin and see what they've sold for recently. That's probably your best, estimate of how much it might be worth. And you might want to go to PCGS's website. Their what is it called? CoinView website, where you could actually see all different American coins in every single grade, photo grade, PCGS photo grade, and you could look at basically any American coin that has been issued for circulation. You could see in every grade they have a coin, so you could kind of get a rough estimate of what your coin might grade at. But you have to be careful because, if the coin's been cleaned or it's damaged or something, it might not straight grade. So you really have to. It's really good to get it graded to determine exactly, what it might be worth. So it's not an exact science by any means. Crocodiles wearing MAGA hats. Okay. Do you have any Aussie coins lying around? Yes, I do, Peter. I actually do have tons of Aussie coins. I think you know which one I have on my desk right now. This is the 1938 crown. So this is only issued for 2 years in Australia, 1937 and 1938. The 38 was the lower mintage. I believe there might have been only 100,000 mintage for this one. So this one I'm going to be submitting to NGC for grading. And unfortunately, last night I discovered, you see that scratch on it? It's a bit worrying. So I don't know if this has been cleaned. I don't know what that scratch is. I'm getting a little nervous with this coin. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, cracker of a coin. Yeah. New 10 kilo Perth Mint Silver, Year of the Snake. Yeah, I think Bullion Now just released a video on that. For those of you who don't really know much about Australian coins, there's a bullion dealer called Bullion Now, and every Thursday night in the US, which is in the afternoon in Australia on Friday, they do, pretty much every week, they do a live stream and they talk about bullion and coins and the economy and stuff like that. So it's very interesting. The owner, Michael, and one of the other guys, Ruben, they're very knowledgeable on what's going on currently in the world. and price as far as prices and new releases that are coming out from the Perth Mint and the Royal Canadian Mint and other mints. So it's a really very informative show. I highly recommend you guys check it out. Bullion Now, you could check out their YouTube channel and see. You would not grade it. Yeah, you're talking about the Australian coin. Well, I don't know. It's just such a low mintage coin that regardless if it comes back cleaned or non-gradable for whatever reason, I really would like to know, because the more I look at it, the more I think that there's issues with this coin. I think it's real. They actually do fake a lot of these. I think it's real, but I do think there's issues with this coin. So we'll see what happens. Either way, I don't care. Hey, what's going on, Aka? Good to see you. Yeah, I got that coin. I don't know if it would be worth me sending it in. I don't know how much it would be worth if I had it graded, to be honest. But I could definitely do that. But yeah, I got a few other Aussie coins on my desk here. just a random. I got one of the Vegemite, one of the Vegemite $2 colored coins here. This is what I like about Australian coins. They got colored coins. They're so innovative in Australia. I just wish we had more innovation in our currency. I got a few more Aussie coins here, Peter. I could show you if you really want to see them. But I don't know. I'm just looking through what I have on my desk here. I have so many coins, guys. Here I got a 1943 wheat, 3 pence. Yeah, so I got a ton of Australian coins on my desk. You'd be surprised. Gypsum. What do you got? Oh, in your truck. Yeah, gypsum. Well, I know talcum. Do they use gypsum and talcum? Or they use talc, right? I thought. What do they use gypsum for? I forgot. I know it's a mineral. I'm not sure what they use it for. I used to be really interested in geology when I was a kid. So yeah, pre-decimal. Yeah, I got tons of Aussie pre-decimal. It's a $2 bill from Australia, which I don't believe they use anymore in circulation. Yeah, I got a lot. I surprisingly got a ton of Australian coins here, guys, on my desk. I still don't have black toonie in my collection. Not in a big hurry. Yeah, I've actually seen those. Black toonies. Those are pretty cool. I think I saw one on Canadian Silver Seeker's channel. And I definitely would like to get one of those as well. I don't have one of those in my collection. I do have an ultra high relief maple that he gave me. Well, I traded Canadian Silver Seeker, and that's just a beautiful coin. I really love that coin. I do have some Privy Mark Canadian maples as well. I know Sentu Georgie actually just released a video of some of his Royal Canadian Mint coins, including a lot of the maple coins. So you guys can check that out if you're interested in Canadian silver coins. Gypsum's used to break down clay dirt around my house. Okay, cool. They just poured it in with a conveyor belt. Wow, that's interesting. Drywall. Hey, what's going on, Jerry? Good to see you. Okay, yeah, so they use it in drywall. Good to know. Thanks for sharing that. Sheetrock. Yeah, sheetrock. Interesting. Interesting. Mm. So yeah, guys, I got some pre-33 gold that I need to get graded. So I got this coin a couple months ago from my guy in Chinatown, 1901S. Really beautiful luster on this coin, honestly. But when I look at it under. I got this little loop recently. This is supposed to be a really good loop, and see if we could do this here on camera. I don't know if this is gonna show it. Oh, there we go. Kind of. No, it's uh, it's not gonna show it so well. Yeah, it has a little something here. I don't know. It looks like dirt. I don't know. I'm a little scared to dip pre-33 gold. I actually did dip a gold coin I got recently. Um, I thought it would help clean it up, but it looked like there was some dirt on it. It did get off a lot of the dirt, but I think what happened was somehow it got some type of acid on it. Maybe when they made the coin, some type of acid wash or acid etching. I don't know how they made the coin back then, but there's definitely it looks like it was exposed to some type of acid at one point. So um, yeah, I'm gonna be showing that coin in an upcoming video. Oh, yeah, it is, Jerry. It is extremely hot. It's going to be, I was just saying it's going to be 97 degrees here tomorrow, and that's not even including the heat index. I forgot I converted that to Celsius. I think it was like 34 degrees or something like that Celsius. So, yeah, you can use PF70 to clean them without hurting them. Use a Q-tip and roll it or not wiping. Yeah, and that's basically what I did on this coin because um, it still does have some dirt on it, but that's what I for the more hard to reach areas I did use a Q-tip on it, and it did actually help it a lot. Um, but there's just some residue on it. It just looks like there's some type of acid put on it at one point. So I basically paid under melt. So I'm not, I really don't care what happens to the coin if it's just like, you know, for melt purposes. I already got more than my money's worth out of it. I could sell it for a profit right now. So I really don't care about what I do to it, but something definitely happened to one side of that coin at one point in time. But yeah, I'd used EZest or EZest as people say on it. I dipped it in EZest, and it left some residue, so I still on it. So I took a Q-tip and I gently dabbed it, to try to get the surface dirt off of it. And I've done that with Morgan dollars I've submitted for grading, and it was straight graded. So I never had an issue dipping coins, and it came back cleaned. I've never had that issue actually. One of them came back details, but it was already, there was something wrong with the coin. It was already clean prior to me dipping it. So, yeah, I dipped a ton of the Morgan dollars. If you check my last video of my NGC coins that I got back, and you see the ones that are blast white, you'll notice that I'd actually dipped those, and they actually all straight graded except for that one coin. So, yeah, I don't know. Dip gold until the sun goes down. It will sustain its value. Yeah, I did. I actually did dip. I had an Italian 20 lira coin, and I dipped it, and it actually came out really nice. I actually think it's like an AU coin. So I have one that is dipped and one that is not dipped, and you could see the toning of the gold because it's not pure gold, it's 90% gold. So it has some copper in it. So the copper, oxidizes over time and it'll form a tarnish on the coin. So if it's not pure gold, so yeah, you could clearly see some toning on the gold. But the one that I dipped, it just had a ton of surface dirt on it, and it came right off, and that coin looks really nice. I did a video of it a while ago. It looks in, it would probably straight grade. It's really a nice coin, and I think it's probably like 150 years old too. Exactly, yeah. I don't know. I think if you submit stuff to CAC, they tend not to like dipped coins. So, um, this is just my opinion. If you do have an older gold coin, like a pre-33 gold coin that you get graded, and it actually comes back a decent grade, or even if it's just an AU or XF even, my advice is not to dip it, because for whatever reason, CAC does not like dipped coins. They like it as original as possible. They like those crusty old gold coins. So if you have it, just leave it the way it is. If you submit it for grading, it comes back a straight grade. Just submit it to CAC. You never know if you'll get it the CAC or not, but you probably got a better chance as opposed to it having been dipped. Yeah, I don't know. It had a lot of surface dirt on it. It's just a very common gold coin I got, and I thought it would remove the surface dirt, but after I dipped it, it still had this like white milky film on it, and it kind of looks like it was exposed to some type of acid, you know, or some type of corrosion. I'm kind of surprised on a gold coin it would have that type of corrosion on it. So I don't know what happened to that coin, honestly, but I'm gonna show you guys in an upcoming video for sure. So yeah, what's everyone up to? Anyone buying anything interesting recently? I haven't really been buying too much. I've been buying I've actually been buying a ton of gold. Um I actually got some gold before these two gold coins that I have not yet shown. I've been getting some really, really good deals on gold under spot, so I haven't haven't really been buying too much else. I did actually buy a fairly large vintage silver bar. I really want to do a video on very soon, so that's probably going to be coming out in the next few days. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Renee. It all comes down to what you like and what you hold on to. Absolutely. Buffalo. Yeah, I did. This is my last video. I don't know. It hasn't. I didn't really make a thumbnail for it. I kind of wanted to see how um, people would react. This one had a nice thumbnail, I guess, and I got over 1,000 views for this video. But this video, I only got like 150 views so far. I didn't put a thumbnail, so I think thumbnails really help videos because these are very beautiful coins, and who doesn't love a beautiful proof buffalo coin, 1 ounce gold coin. So I'm not sure. I think the thumbnail really sometimes really helps, as well as the title. So yeah, it's a beautiful coin. I really love this coin. Beautiful condition. Probably grade of 69 or something. I don't think grade of 70, but who knows. I'm not gonna get this graded. I'd be too afraid to get this coin graded. It's so delicate, this coin, you know. It's pure gold, so um I'm sure if I took it out of the capsule, it'd be highly susceptible to scratches. I wouldn't I'd probably never take this coin out of the capsule. That's just me though. Some people don't mind holding their gold. If it's something that is common, you know, and just worth, you know, face value, then yeah, I don't mind touching it. But I tend not to touch my coins. I tend to try to keep them all in capsules to protect them, because if and or when in the future I decide to sell them, uh, I tend to try to get coins in BU or at least AU condition, uh, hoping that, you know, the better condition will equate to more money. So I try to keep my coins as pristine as possible, and by putting them in capsules, it really helps with that. Thanks. Yeah, it's perfect the way it is. Absolutely. Um, Something like this, though, I mean, I probably would. I think, I don't know if I touched the edges of it. I didn't, you know, touch the surfaces, just the edges of this. When I put this in here, I kind of gently pressed it in with a do. I usually don't touch it. So this is in beautiful condition. I'd say it's at least a 63 condition, maybe 64. I just don't know about these little scratches above the head there. I know that's not part of. It looks like some rays of sun or something. I don't know if that's part of. I don't know if that's a die clash. I don't know what that is. If someone did like a gold test on it and they just scratched it like that, you know, I really don't know. That's kind of what it looks like to me. Like they were just trying to test the purity of the gold, and they kind of did a acid test scratch on the coin. So I don't know. But I got this at spot, so I'm not complaining. It's just a beautiful coin. I love this coin. I look at this coin like every day since I've gotten it. Actually like this coin. I hate to say it, I like it more than this coin right here. Although this coin I really like a lot as well. I've just been. This has been. This has really been a coin I've been wanting a lot more for some reason, to complete my set of the Mexican pesos. So 50 centavos. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened with this, to be honest. It just troubles me when I see those scratches there on the top. It's just a little concerning to me. Not that I'm gonna get this coin graded, but you know, I definitely want to get the 1943. That's the lowest mintage one. I think there's like 50,000 minted that year. Um, this one, with all the restrikes and everything, I don't know. I think there's something like 2 million or something, a little bit more than that. So yeah, and I don't know how to tell if there's a restrike or not. But yeah, there's another coin that I recently picked up where they made a ton of restrikes on that coin as well. And there's actually ways you can tell if it's an original or a restrike. So about half of the coins are original and half are restrikes. I mean, initially they were restrikes, but there were later restrikes done, and you could tell if it's an earlier restrike or a later restrike. That's the way I roll too. No sooner than I'd open up the capsule, I'd drop it on a hard surface and scratch it up. Yeah, I've been there with a couple of my coins. I've dropped a couple of them. Luckily, not too many of my gold coins. Mostly my silver coins I've handled, or silver bullion mostly I've dropped. Thank goodness it hasn't really been anything of significant value. So um, yeah, yeah. I picked up. Well, I don't know if I'll tell. I'll probably just show you in an upcoming video what I picked up. But yeah, I've been picking up some. I picked up some pre-33 gold I haven't shown yet. I want to show you guys. And I picked up a more modern, some more modern gold. So I actually have about 4 or 5 gold coins that I have not shown so far. So we'll see. Um, so yeah, what have you guys been doing? You guys have been buying, selling. What have you been guys picking up recently? I actually did get some. I didn't show these. I'll probably just show them now. I don't really care. I did actually pick up some Engelhard bars recently, and it was kind of weird. I bought them from an online dealer, and they waited. I waited. Sometimes there's a delay in shipping, and it was about a week. So I called them up. I said, "Hey, what's going on?" Oh, we don't have it in stock. We didn't have it in stock when you bought it. I was like, what? They're like, oh, we were waiting for someone to ship it to us. I was kind of confused. I'm like, so then why did you list it on your website as having it in stock? It's kind of strange. So I actually managed to pick up 8 1-ounce Engelhard bars, and I actually did a trade with someone, and I got rid of most of them, but I actually do have 2 left over here. Oh, highly reflective. I'm gonna try not to show my face. So these are actually sequentially numbered, if you can see that. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I actually had another pair of sequentially numbered bars. So I might actually sell these. I actually do like, I do try to tend, I do tend to collect sequentially numbered bars. I like them, especially Engelhard. My first 2 vintage bars were 5-ounce sequentially numbered Engelhards. So I do like sequentially numbered bars. So they might have a slight premium on them because they are sequentially numbered. So I thought that was pretty cool that I actually did get a pair, and then they were actually in really nice condition, the bars that I got. So yeah, I did actually get those recently. Yeah, I still got a video I got to put out of a really cool vintage bar that I picked up recently. I haven't been showing it. I didn't show it yet. So that's definitely going to be coming out in the next few days. And then I have some gold that I got. Like I said before, I got these 2 coins. I actually picked up gold that I have not shown yet. So yeah, I'm a silver guy. I'm setting, looking, and watching, prowling. Yeah, the price of silver has dropped a little bit, so I don't know. It might be an opportunity to pick some up. I don't know what the price is going to do. Nobody really knows. Mm. But now that prices are high, some of the really nice vintage stuff is starting to come out. My guy at the flea market has been getting some really nice vintage, as I showed him in one of my recent videos, some rare 1-ounce vintage bars. I had the 1-ounce golden analytical bar, so you guys might be familiar with their 10-ounce bars. They were based out of Golden, Colorado. The Kit Kat style bars with the usually they left a number on the day that it was made. Usually like 1981, 1982. You see a lot of those bars. So that was really cool that I got the 1-ounce one, because you really don't see those. And then I got the Prudential uh, Bash bar. So That's kind of a rare bar. Those tend to sell for around $100 on eBay. So yeah, I've been trying to get some rare vintage lately. I have the silver that I am adding to my stack is most of it is rare. I do have a rare Engelhard bar I also picked up recently, so I'm gonna be showing that also in an upcoming video. I'll probably just do another vintage silver video coming up in the next couple days, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, I'm trying to slow down on silver because I have so much of it. That's why I've been getting rid of it. Um, for the year, I'd say I've probably gotten rid of around 400 ounces or more of silver already. And I've probably only picked up, added to my stack, probably not more than 75 to 100 ounces. So yeah, there's probably been a net loss of at least 300 ounces of silver to my stack. Um, so yeah, I got 5 Morgan dollars in the mail today. 19010, 1897S, 1891S, 1891O, and 1899S. Cool, cool, very cool, Jerry. Those ones around 1900, those are actually um, really good to have because there's actually somewhat of a lower mintage. And I actually do have one of those coins you mentioned. I have the 1901O here. So I picked this up from my dealer uh, maybe a couple months back for like 30 bucks, I think. Now he's charging like 35 bucks for them. But yeah, he had really good prices just like not even 2 months ago. He was selling these for like 30 bucks. Wow, you have no Engelhards in your collection. Wow. Yeah, definitely grab some, you know. It's really unfortunate because I did a video a few months back where I picked up 100 ounces of them, of the 1 ounce bars, and not too many people wanted them. You know, I was selling them for around $30 an ounce. Maybe it was like 31 or $32 an ounce. Um, so yeah, nobody wanted it back then, and in the past I've sold them for under $30 an ounce. So I don't know. You know, I've offered a lot of good deals to the community in the past, and not too many people have taken me up on them. I know Jerry Parker is one person who has. I remember I sold you that Buffalo bar, that was it 5 ounce Buffalo bar, and among other things, Jerry. So I don't know. You know, I try to give really good deals to people in the community because I realize a lot of people might not have an LCS near them. So when I do get stuff, I try to keep people in mind in the community who might not have an LCS near them, and I try to give them like a really good deal on stuff that I get. But not too many people, for whatever reason, take me up on those offers. I usually post it in my my community tab, so I don't know. I really don't know. I still have 280 ounces of silver Buffalo mint sealed BU selling at spot. Nice. Yeah, you could actually go to Bullion Exchange's website and you could see how much they're paying for those right now. They were actually paying a lot of their silver. They were paying about $1, 25 under spot, but now they're paying $2 under spot because they've gotten so much silver in. So I think I actually sold my 100 ounce bars at the right time because I got $1.25 under spot. And if you look at their website now, they're selling for $2 under spot. So yeah, I don't know what that person sent. Let me see. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Yeah, I'm a loser, right? That's what he said. Just a troll, just a troll. I don't know. I just don't like, that's what it is when you go live, unfortunately. 5 ounce Bison bullion bar and the 5 ounce, 5 Engelhard 1 ounce bars. Nice, nice, Jerry. That is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I actually do have some. If anyone is interested in buying anything, I actually do have some stuff that I don't know if it's under spot. Probably it might be under spot right now. If anyone is, or very very close to spot. Um, yeah, that was yeah. I hit them. Yeah, thanks. I think it was Jerry. Thanks. Um, yeah, I actually do have these. I got recently. Um, I'd probably, I don't know, if anyone really wanted something like this, I probably would do like 30, which is probably under spot right now. If anyone's interested in some piece dollars, I'd probably do like 30 a piece. They're not in the best condition. XF, maybe AU, some AU condition. Um, but yeah, I got a ton of these from my guy on the weekend at a really great deal recently. So now he's selling them for about 35 a piece. So yeah, if anyone's interested, let me know, and could work out something. Even got a Morgan here. I'd probably do for like 32 bucks. So if anyone's interested, probably would probably do that for like 32 bucks. But yeah, there's definitely deals to be had right now. I know a lot of LCSs are selling stuff at or below spot for silver. They can't get rid of their silver fast enough. A lot of these dealers have a ton stockpile of silver right now. So there's definitely some deals to be had for silver at this time. Even though the spot price is relatively high, the premiums are at or below spot for a lot of this stuff right now. So it might actually be a good opportunity to pick some of this stuff up right now. And I just dropped a ton of my silver coins. I don't know if you guys heard that. You probably did. Yeah, I just dropped a ton of coins on the floor. And unfortunately, I dropped it on glass. I dropped it on glass. I have a glass thing here for my desk. This is actually, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's actually an Engelhard tube. These usually go for about $100 on eBay. So I actually have two of these. I got a really good deal from Silver Bar Stacker on those. Do you have any Black Flag pieces? No, I do not have any Black Flag pieces. I am familiar with that series. I think Liberty Bleeds Silver has some. I think Centu Georgie has that series as well. But I personally, that's not a series. I tend not to collect too much modern silver. That's not really what I personally am into. I know there's a lot of beautiful designs out there of modern silver. But my tastes are more into vintage, and I do like the Libertads. That's one modern coin that I do like to collect, and I haven't really sold. I did have a tube of them that I sold. But aside from that, my 2 ounce coins, 5 ounce Libertads, I haven't sold any really, unless I had like 3 or 4 of them. I might have sold 1 or 2 here or there. I heard some wholesalers were melting junk silver. Yeah, I mean, They do it every day, Jerry. Unfortunately, there's this stuff like stop the melt. But I mean, it's been happening since the price of silver in a coin has been worth more than its face value. It's been happening. The I forgot the act in 1918 where they basically had to repay Europe, and they basically melted down something like 330 million Morgan dollars to basically pay some of these countries. So yeah, they melted down like 330 million Morgan dollars. And that's kind of why they had to remake them in 1921. They did not actually have the original dies, so they actually had to recreate the die for the Morgan dollar. And then they just made it basically 1 year until they made the peace dollar, less than a year actually. So yeah, there's actually a lot of effort put in to making the 1921 Morgan, and it was just for such a short amount of time. It was kind of ridiculous, but that's basically what happened, because they melted down so many Morgans and they needed the silver dollar for circulation. Yeah, I got a ton of those tubes here. Actually, this might be what you're referring to. I'm not sure if this is what you're referring to. Just pop it open. Got a lot of these $1 Ike dollars. This one was kind of interesting because it was toned up. You normally don't see them toned up too often. But yeah, I got these at face value from someone who lived in Florida. And that's the thing, if you live in an area with a high concentration of elderly people, you might want to go to the banks, because a lot of times their relatives tend to turn in sometimes they could be valuable coins for face value. I've done coin roll hunting in the past here in New York City, and it's been slim pickings. My best find was actually a roll of pretty much a whole roll of proof half dollars. Aside from the enders, the whole roll was proof coins. Not they were not all in perfect condition, but still it was quite a interesting find. I've done videos where I've gone to 25 plus banks in the video, and this is all done within a matter of hours. And over the course of a couple years, going to easily over 150 banks, I've probably only found about 27 or 28 half dollars here, so that are silver. So it's been slim pickings. I found probably about 20 Ike dollars, none of them silver. I did actually find the 1970 half dollar, which was uncirculated. So that was kind of an interesting find. That was probably my most interesting find for silver half dollars. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I tend to get these. I could tell you. I think it's called the Coin Supply Store. I tend to buy from them. They're actually based in Tennessee, and I tend to find them to have the cheapest prices. I know there's some other. I won't name any names. I don't want to talk badly about anybody, but there are some other people who do sell supplies in the community, and they actually charge more money. But yeah, the coin supply store is definitely, I think that's what they're called. I tend to buy my supplies from them. I love the tone discussion. Some like toning, some don't. Myself, I love toned coins as long as fakery isn't evident. Yeah, there's, you know, back like probably in the 80s, I've read books on coins and toning and stuff of that nature. Back then, it was people hated toning. It was considered ugly, or it detracted from the value of the coin. And then I guess maybe, I don't know, I'm guessing in the past 10 or 15 years, maybe, I don't know how long, but fairly recently, people love toning, and some toners go for crazy money. And there's all types of toning. My guy at the LCS I go to in Chinatown, he knows a lot about toning, and he showed me some type of toning, like what to look for. He had some old trade dollars that were toned up naturally, and he showed me the type of toning that's most desirable, that goes for the most amount of money. And it's really interesting. It really depends on the type of coin. You got coins that are more copper based, you got coins that are more nickel based, and other metals that tone or oxidize over time. Silver obviously tarnishes. So it's really interesting how these coins tone over time, and the type of toning, and how these coins came about to be toned. I actually went through my dad's. He left me some some junk silver coins, and he actually has some really nice toner, some barber halves and dimes and nickels. So they have some really amazing natural toning on it. So those coins I might actually get graded, although they're not in high grades. They probably grade like a V8 or something like that. The toning on them is really spectacular. So yeah, I'm a fan of toning. I really do like toning. Yeah, gold toning can be really nice. Usually, it really depends on the type of coin. Usually, it just turns like a very dark, like mustard brown color. Oftentimes, you could have some more coppery toning as well on some older gold coins, like pre-33 gold coins. Some type of orange toning I've seen also. It really is pretty cool too on gold coins, the toning. Um, but yeah, I mean, it really does depend on the coin. And yeah, I really, I know some people, they say, oh, there's no such thing as artificial toning. Well, that's not true. There is something artificially toned. People do all sorts of tricks with certain gases and certain um, I don't want to say how they do it. I know how they do it. I don't want to give people any ideas, because a lot of times now these coin companies are going to say artificially toned on the coin. They hadn't been doing that early on, but now I think they're starting to really crack down on people like that. Um, so I do. I happened to go into an LCS a couple weeks ago. I'm not going to name any names. And I happened to see a couple of beautiful minty gem BU 1921 peace dollars. Okay, and they had put something over the coin. And when I took it off, I saw what year the coins were. I was shocked. Okay, they were gem BU 1921 peace dollars. Okay, now I could understand you wanting to tone a really valuable coin like that, but if it's already in beautifully gem BU condition, blast white, okay, why are you trying to tone a coin like that? Why are you trying to artificially tone a coin like that? That just doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe they think it's going to be worth double, what it is already in gem BU condition. I have no clue. But if I had a blast white coin like that, I would not want it toned. That thing was in amazing condition. They had a couple of them, and those coins were, you know, they're worth a lot of money in gem BU condition, 1921 piece dollar. So yeah. Not sure why they toned them, but I guess they're trying to make a lot of money off of them. They think they can. I love those tubes. The tone, gold toning is beautiful. Yeah, I got a few. I got a few toners. I really like toning. I got this coin here actually. It's kind of hard to see on here, but it actually has some like purple toning on this coin, this piece dollar. I kind of wanted to get it graded, leave it in the holder. Some nice purple toning on it. Can't really see it too well on here, but yeah, it has some purple toning on it. I thought that was pretty cool. Don't have any examples of gold toning at the moment, so can't really show you guys that. Oh, it's pretty late here. It's like 3 in the morning. So yeah, I've been streaming a little bit over an hour right now. Actually do have a really beautifully toned actually guys, check this out. Look at this bar. This is actually by the Madison Mint, and this is the Presidential Series. This is like charcoal, guys. It's like charcoal toned. Look at that. I actually do want to show you a round that I have here, if I can find it. Here. This is like a key date ASC. Has some toning on it. Not the most attractive toning, but does have some toning on it. Can't find that. Oh, man. Somewhere here. Oh man. Just had it. Here it is. Here it is. This is really nice. Check this out. Check this toning out. You could tell that's natural toning that happened over time. That's beautiful. Something like that takes time to form. North Star Mint. See a little bit of toning around the edges. It has this beautiful blue, and there's some reds in there, a little bit, yellows, green, a little bit. Beautiful toning. Actually did a video of toned silver bars that I own. I did my top 5 toners. You guys can check it out if you're interested in seeing some toners. Yeah, it's really nice, Jerry. Yeah, I like turtles too, Avocado. I have a couple of turtle coins. I have the Taku. I have the Fiji turtle. I have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle coin that came out last year from the Perth Mint. Both the colorized and non-colorized versions. We in the community now know how artificial toning is done. It's okay when creating original pours, but to tone older coinage and pass it off as original is wrong. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Renee. I completely agree. I don't like people who say there's no such thing as artificial toning. They won't admit it. They won't admit to what they've done to the coin, and it's blatantly obvious. If you're gonna have just a bright blue coin or a bright orange coin, that clearly is artificially toned, and you're not willing to even admit that it's artificially toned, that you've done that. So I just don't like people like that either, who are trying to pass it off as being toned and not artificially toned. You know, I just don't like people who say that, because what they're saying is dishonest. Yeah, I bought a $5 half eagle with smoky cranberry toning. Wow, that's really cool. So often, so oftentimes when you get a gold coin that is has a red, or I guess a cranberry color, you know, that's from the copper. Sometimes some of the pre-33 gold coins will have copper spots in them, but to have a beautiful like cranberry color toning on a gold, on a pre-33 gold coin, I think that would be highly desirable. That sounds like a really beautiful coin, Paul. Like, you're very fortunate to have something like that. Most of the toning on mine, I'd say I do have some that have an orange toning to it. Not really much of a red or cranberry color to it. Mostly it's like a more mustard, dark mustard color, or a more orange color toning to the gold coins that I have. But yeah, I love toning. I love toning. I think it only enhances the character of the coin. It shows the coin what the coin's been through, its history, you know, how it's been stored, you know. It just adds character to the coin. I really like toning on coins. Oh. Yeah, my half eagle is blast white, not blast white, blast yellow, I guess you could say. Um, doesn't really have any toning on it. It's just has tons of luster on it. I'm guessing this is gonna grade like around a 63 if I'm lucky. It's just beautiful, beautiful coin. That cartwheel, it's beautiful. Yeah, it is. When I saw it, I wasn't. $5, for whatever reason, $5 liberties tend not to be as popular as Indians. But when I saw the amount of luster on this coin, I said this coin is probably a coin that's gonna cack. That's what I had in mind when I bought this coin. So he offered it for a really, really good price too, so I couldn't refuse it. But when I see that luster, that cartwheel and that luster, this is a coin that could possibly cack in my mind and be worth a heck of a lot more money. So that's why I bought it. Yeah, if you, I'm gonna probably, I think I did. I don't know if I think I did a video on this coin already. But yeah, I put everything in capsules. Yeah, that's especially for silver avocado. I think that's really the smart way to go. I'm pretty much the same way. Even with my silver, you know, I don't put it in something like this, but I do put it in plastic holders. I think they're vinyl, maybe they're vinyl holders that are non-plasticized, non-plasticine vinyl holders that don't tarnish the silver, and that's definitely the best way of going. I think storing your silver in holders, capsules, something to protect it from oxidation, is definitely the way to go with silver. Yeah, I love Libertads. They're beautiful coins. They've just become so popular in the last few years that the price on them has gone up. my my LCS tends to give me a really great deal on them when he gets them in. which is probably, I only pick up maybe one or two of them a year from him because he doesn't really get too many in. He does actually get a lot of Mexican gold in, I pick up from him. But as far as Libertads, I tend not to get too many from him. But yeah, they're just really beautiful. I'm trying to get the whole set little by little, and I probably only have about 15 years out of like what 45 years already, close 42 years. So yeah, I got a little catching up to do. Yeah, this is a P series loaf, 5 ounce P series loaf. It's not a common bar. I forgot the mintage on this. I think it's 10,000. I want to say 10 or 15,000 on it. So yeah, it's not a common bar. And I'm actually glad I picked this up a couple months ago. Sometimes you got to look for stuff on the back. Sometimes they have the reverse convex, which means that there would be some writing on the bar. On the back, you would clearly see some writing. So sometimes I take like a magnifier to see if there's any type of writing, because there kind of looks like there might be some, but you know, you really got to take a scope to look sometimes. But it's usually pretty apparent. Usually on the 10-ounce bars, you'll see reverse convex printing of, it says like 10 troy ounces. You know, basically what it says on the front, it says it on the back. And sometimes you have to look for the 10-ounce P loaves. Sometimes there's like a 1 above the P. Sometimes there's an X8. You know, there's all different things you got to look for with these Engelhard bars. One time I got very lucky at my LCS. I noticed it was a 1-ounce Engelhard bar, and it looked very different from your typical 1-ounce E logo bar, and I could tell it was different. So I didn't say anything to my LCS, and he basically, I used to get vintage bars for $30 up until very recently. So pretty much I got that bar for $30, and it turns out it was a low mintage. I don't remember the mintage on it, but I think it's like a 3000 mintage bar. So I think he kind of realized it after he sold it to me, but I think he was pretty cool about it, because he's sold me a lot of interesting things that he's had for a while in his collection. Sometimes he gives me some really good deals on stuff. Like I got a proof 5-ounce Libertad. It's just gorgeous, and he sold that to me a few years ago for only $200. And I don't know how much those things are going for now. You know, probably minimum at least I think 300 plus. So yeah, occasionally I get some good deals from him. But yeah, I just love vintage silver. I want a gold reverse proof Libertad. They are so gorgeous. Yeah, they really are avocado. That's probably the one that I don't have yet. The last one that I have really wanted for a while now, a 1-ounce reverse proof Libertad in gold. I just think it's just an amazingly beautiful coin. I do have a couple. Well, I have a couple proof gold Libertads, but I don't think I have a reverse proof one. I think the only reverse proof I have is a fractional Libertad. I'm not 100% sure. I know it's at least proof, but yeah, the gold reverse proof Libertads are just amazing coins. I really want one in my stack. That's probably my last my last 1-ounce gold coin that I have really wanted for a long time that I haven't gotten yet. So hopefully by the end of this year I'll get one of those as well, but we'll see. Might not be in the cards for me. But yeah, I was very fortunate last year to get some proof Libertads, 1/4 ounce Libertads at a very good deal. I think it was either maybe the year before, um, and then the price just like went crazy, shot up, and I got them I got 3 of them at a really good price. The reverse proof modern peace dowers are very beautiful. Yeah, they are, Jerry. I do actually have some of those as well. Let me see if I could show you. Let's see if I got one I could show you. Here we go. We got the Morgan. Here we go. Is this what you're talking about, Jerry? Yeah, I think it's gorgeous. I think it's really nice. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. That's gorgeous, right? My face showing. Beautiful. And that's the thing. I don't care about showing serial numbers, It's just, I don't know. Some people, because for collecting purposes, they don't like to show the serial numbers. I don't care about that. Of course, I got the Morgan. I think they're really beautiful reverse proof coins. I love them, especially like the Canadian maple leaf reverse proof. I have the ultra high relief one. It's just beautiful. Yeah, I might pick up that set. How's that 50 pesos holding up? Yeah, it's holding up. It's holding up. I keep it in the capsule. I look at it every day since I've gotten it. Just a gorgeous coin. Oh my god. I love this coin. This is probably, well, I have so many favorites, but this is definitely in my top 5. Maybe top 3, but it's hard. It's just so many coins, but definitely top 5. I love this design. The 20 pesos is definitely my favorite Mexican, my favorite international gold coin, hands down. And the $10 Indian is probably my favorite overall, as you guys can see from my channel logo. That's probably my favorite design on any gold coin. But the Mexican 20 pesos is probably a close second for me. And this is up there. This is like number 3 or 4. I'd have to say. Yeah, this is pretty much all the centavos, the Mexican pesos, from 2, 2.5, 5, 10, 20, 50. They all have this design. I was actually watching a video last night, and this design, oh god, I don't want to mess this year up. I want to say 1723 it first appeared on Mexican coins. I don't remember exactly. It's actually designed by an English dude. He designed this. It didn't quite look like this though, the bird, but he came up with this design for some really early Mexican coins, and then they really didn't adapt this design again until like the 19th century for Mexican coinage. So I think it's just a beautiful design. 20 pesos is my next purchase. Yeah, that I highly recommend that coin, Paul. I mean, that Aztec calendar, oh my god. If I mean the older ones, the 1917 through 1921, if you look at them, they're just really beautiful coins. But if you actually look at the 1959 restrike, that Aztec calendar is a lot more detailed. I think they had better technology at that point when they did the restrike, and you could see so much detail. If you look under a magnifying glass, you'd be amazed at how detailed that Aztec calendar is. It's just a beautiful design. Yeah, I'm still missing 2 years from the 20 pesos, the 1920 and the 1921. I think they made a couple different versions, so I'm missing like a few coins. I have the 1917 through 1919 and the 1959 restrike. So I'd love to get the full series for that coin. I'm just kind of pissed off that I didn't get them a lot sooner, because when I bought most of my 20 pesos coins, I don't want to tell you, but I mean they were they were around uh, $915 to about $1,025 I spent on those 20 peso coins, and now they're probably going for about $1,650 each. So yeah, I'm glad I bought them when I did, to be honest. That is correct, Jerry. Yes, the Mexican mint is the oldest mint in the New World. They were making those I don't know, I guess pieces of 8. I don't know if they made them. I'm not 100% sure. Those cob dollars. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with some of those ancient. Well, they're not really ancient, but I mean, I don't know what they're considered. But yeah, they have some really interesting coins. Mexico. If you actually go to the Mexican Mint, Casa de Moneda in Mexico City, they actually have one of the original, coins that they made, like the very first coin that they made in the New World. There, you could see it. That's what my friend told me, who went there. So yeah, I definitely would love to go there someday. Casa de Moneda, the Mexican Mint. Yeah, they have some amazing coins. Royale, yeah, yeah. Actually, do have one piece of 8 coin from a shipwrecked coin from the Concepcion. Um, I don't know. I think I showed it in a live stream one time, but I haven't really done a video on it. It was actually my dad's coin. That was probably his most valuable coin that he still had in his collection. My dad had gold coins years ago in his collection that unfortunately he sold them. So I didn't have one. He didn't leave me one single gold coin, unfortunately. But yeah, he did leave me that shipwrecked coin. He really liked that shipwrecked coin. Back in the 80s, it was a lot more uncommon to get a shipwrecked coin because there weren't as many shipwrecks found then. But since then, there's been a ton of shipwrecked coins that have been found. So the prices on a lot of these things have dramatically decreased because of that. Not to say that they're not valuable. There are still some, valuable coins that were never meant to see the light of day, even that were supposed to be destroyed, that were never destroyed, or some really very rare shipwreck coins. So there are still some, that have some provenance to them as well that are very valuable. But I'm not really, big into those type of coins. Oh, no problem, Peter. No problem. Yeah, it's very late here for me. It's like 3:30 in the morning. I've been staying up way too late recently, but I'm not working right now. I'm gonna be starting a new job in a couple weeks, so why not take advantage of it, right? Hmm. So yeah, I was just talking about shipwreck coins. Jerry mentioned the Mexican mint is the oldest mint in the New World, and I'm just saying, like, years ago, like in the 80s, there weren't as many shipwrecks found, and a lot of these shipwreck coins were very valuable, and the price has come down on a lot of these because so many shipwrecks have been found since then, so there still are some valuable shipwrecked coins, but a lot of the more common ones have dramatically uh, gone down in value over the past 30 years. You're in Albany, New York, because I'm in New York City, Paul. So yeah, I've been up to those parts before. I've been through those parts. Oh, oh man, I don't know what to talk about anymore. Nice, nice. Yeah, it's nice up there in the summertime. I used to go camping when I was in college, a little bit after college with some friends. We'd go every year upstate. We'd either go to Pennsylvania or we'd go upstate New York camping, and really nice up there. I think depended what year, but yeah, we did 1 year we went around Albany. Wasn't too bad. Yeah, shipwreck coins. Yeah, I was just saying that I have a piece of eight that my father left me. I think I might have showed it in a live stream one time, but haven't really done much research on it. He actually got it at an auction at Stacks years ago, like around 1990, I want to say. And you could actually look up a lot of those coins and see, how much was paid for it. So yeah, I think I know how much he paid, but unfortunately, the value of it has gone down. So it's probably worth about what he paid back then for it. Go to sleep. Oh, you're going to sleep, Paul? I don't know. I'm probably gonna stay up just a little bit longer. I kind of want to hit the 2 hour mark. I have about 18 minutes left, so probably by 4 a.m. I'm gonna go to bed. But yeah, it's really interesting. So yeah, Peter, I was just oh shit, I spilled some scotch on my on my laptop. Not good, not good. I do not like to waste alcohol. Mm. Yeah, I didn't really drink too much, so I'm still relatively with it. I was showing off this earlier. I'm sure you've seen it before. Pea loaf, Engelhard pea loaf. I actually have a book here, Peter, that you might be interested in. I know I wasted some scotch. Look at that. Kind of, I kind of wanna show this book. So this is the Australian poured ingots book. So this is kind of like the Australian all Engelhard, but in a book format. So I was very fortunate to get this book. It shows all different types of silver and gold that were produced in Australia in the past, I'd say 40 to 50 years. A lot of different companies, you know, and they tell the estimated survival, the estimated mintage of these things. I thought it was a pretty cool book. They have Engelhard Australia, all these obscure Australian Bullion Company, Mathey Garrett. She might know Johnson Mathey, Calgary Bullion Exchange, Harrington. These are all Aussie, companies. Geomin. So very, very interesting. Here's some Englehart, Australia. Very interesting history into vintage Australian gold and silver. Just a book that I wanted to read up. Thank you, Peter. Yeah, it's very, 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 very interesting book. Not that I have much Australian silver, vintage silver, but it's just, I think it's a really great, great reference book for vintage Australian silver and gold. Yeah, who knows? I'm pretty sure there will be a second edition eventually come out for this book. Because since this book has been published, there's been a lot of people coming out of the woodworks, I guess. I've watched Bullion now, and they're saying, they have some ingots that they haven't featured, or they have some information that they want the guys from Bullion now to pass on to this guy, Kim Brett, that he didn't include in the book. So I know this particular bar is extremely rare. This is a 50 mintage bar, and one of them just sold on eBay, I believe, for $2,750 roughly, and there's one currently for, I think, $3,200, somewhere around $3,200 USD. So this is a 50 mintage bar. I know that off the top of my head. And these are, I'm sure these are very rare silver and gold bars. So yeah. Don't we all, Peter? Don't we all? I got took by an LCS stamp shop back in the late 70s. Had an inverted... Wait, what? You had an inverted Jenny? Wait, what was that? I gotta scroll down. Had an inverted Jenny stamp, and all I got was 3 V nickels. Nowadays they sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yeah, that's probably the rarest stamp. If it actually was a real one, I'm not doubting you, but there was a point where that has sold for over $1 million, that stamp. So yeah, that's unfortunately stamps. Not too many people collect stamps anymore. My father actually did leave me a stamp collection as well. He has a lot of old stamps from the 1800s and early 1900s. I don't know how much those things are worth, but they're probably not worth nearly as much as they were 50, 60 years ago. It's really a shame because stamps are so beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful artwork on stamps, and it's just a dead. No one really collects it. I don't know why the hobby kind of died out. I remember as a kid, there used to be a stamp store near me. I don't know if I don't remember if they sold coins or not, but I am 100% sure that they sold stamps. They bought and sold stamps, and I think I might have only been in there once or twice as a kid, because my dad was a stamp collector as well. It's just a shame that a lot of these stamps are not as valuable as they used to be. It's hard to believe that Englehart didn't make an Australian prospector, or did they? To the best of my knowledge, I don't think they made a prospector. There was a prospector made in 1988 by a private company that they gave out to employees. I know Silverstruck just showed that off on the Average Joe's live stream a couple days ago. So there was a 1988 prospector, but as far as an Engelhard Australian prospector, I don't believe there was one that I know of. Yeah, yeah. No, I believe you, Renee. I'm sure you did have one. I'm sure you did. I don't doubt you. Um, because yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm really sorry that happened to you. I really am. You know, back then it probably was worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, much later on, you know, over $1 million that stamp. That's terrible. I've had I've had similar I've had similar things happen to me. I've mentioned before where in 2012 my friend told me to buy Bitcoin at $8 a Bitcoin, and he's like, just buy $100. He's like, just buy $100 and don't think about it. Just hold on to it for like 10 years or whatever. And he was telling me back in 2012 to buy Bitcoin at $8 a Bitcoin. And did I listen? No. You know, if I would have bought, let's say, about 12 Bitcoins, yeah, I would have been a millionaire from Bitcoin. So he is a uh, crypto multimillionaire today, and I am still working. So yeah, I should have listened to him. I should have listened to him. So yeah, I've had opportunities like that in my lifetime, um, and I've sold some things that were valuable, but not, you know, not crazy value. Well, the most valuable thing that I probably sold, I'm a little younger, and you know, we had the Pokemon craze, and when it first came out, the trading card game, you know, the Charizard was worth, you know, the most money, first edition Charizard, and I happened to be in front of you know, a comic book store that sold the Pokemon cards. This was like in the first week or two when the Pokemon cards first came out, and I found a first edition Charizard on the floor, brand new. Someone had dropped it, or you know, whatever. And I went into the store, and I sold it for $100 back then. And you know, back then it wasn't going for that much. You know, they listed it for like 150. This was only, you know, the first week or two that it came out, the game. And eventually, I don't know, easily over $100,000 for that card. So yeah, I've been there. I know how that feels. That feeling, unfortunately, yeah, it's not a good feeling. Exactly. Yeah, hindsight. Well, yeah, hindsight is 2020. Absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, in your case, you got burned, which is even more. I would think is more devastating, unfortunately. So yeah. The bullion now guys are all collectors. They keep all the good stuff that's traded in. I'm sure they do, Peter. And I feel bad for you guys in Australia because you don't have the variety that we have here in the U.S. Unfortunately, I know. I think Michael was saying like in the last like 10 years or so, there really weren't too many options for bullion. I think it was mostly, you know, coin collecting, and I guess bullion, you know, getting bullion has gotten more popular in Australia more recently. And it's kind of the same thing in the US. There really weren't too many premiums. You know, talking to dealers, you know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, there really weren't too many premiums on vintage. You know, you could find something, let's say, you know, whatever, a rare vintage bar like this that might have only been 500 mintage for maybe $1 over spot, and to most bullion dealers at the time, it really wouldn't have any significant value over spot, you know, just because it was a little bit older. Um, And as I mentioned recently, Silver Oceans put out a great video about vintage silver. Some of you might not be really into vintage, but I think now is like a really good time to get into it if you don't have any, or if you don't have too much of it, because I think in the future it's only gonna really it's kind of gonna be looked at in a way that some numismatic coins are looked at. I think it's gonna have an additional premium over spot, as it does now to some bullion dealers. But a lot of the even some today, a lot of the older bullion dealers, they really don't care. They just look at it as bullion. They don't look at it as having any significant value over spot. They'll just put a premium of a buck or two over spot on it, and you could really still get some really great vintage pieces for some really low premiums here in the US. But like you said, in Australia, like Michael and the people at Bullion Now, they recently showed a vintage bar and the original uh, holder and the original paperwork from like 1981. I think just it had the date, what was it, July 29th or no, somewhere like right now, like the day it is, basically from like 1981, and how much they paid back then. And something like that, that might be in this book, or there might only be 50 of those ever made, and maybe there's only 2 or 3 of those surviving in the world. Something like that, they're probably not going to sell to the general public, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm sure he has tons of vintage Australian silver and gold bars that will never see the light of day to any other collectors. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have tons of local coin shops here in the U.S., Peter, but probably years ago, I remember as a kid, there were a lot more coin shops here, and they're dying out for a lot of reasons, because coin shop, believe it or not, guys, they don't make much money. You would think, because unless they get something that has a huge numismatic value or is extremely rare, once in a while they might find something that's worth a lot of money. Most of 99% of what they get in, they're making 2 or 3% profit on. They're not really making a high profit margin on a lot of what they sell in coin shops. Their game is high volume. They have to move stuff, and the way to do that is to have extremely low premiums on items. So they'll maybe pay a few percentage under spot, and they'll charge maybe a few percentage over spot, to get the stuff to move quickly, because that's how they make money. They don't make much money on everything they sell. If they're selling a 1 ounce bar for $40, maybe they'll make $1 or $2 on it. They're really not making that much money on each item that they sell. They really have to do high turnover for them to make any money. So that's why you go into a local coin shop here in the US especially, and more often than not, the owner is going to be, of a certain age. They're going to be a little bit older. So yeah, you don't really see too many young LCS owners when you go to coin shops, unfortunately. So they're a dying breed here, Peter, unfortunately. Yeah, you pay less than we do for bullion. Yeah, I'm sure we pay less, because I know there's a lot of import duties as well in Australia. And then there's what you guys, I guess you call it, is it VAT? I'm not sure. GST, you guys call it, I think. VAT, I think, is in the UK. But yeah, we don't, 38 out of the 50 states here do not have any tax on bullion. Unfortunately, in New York, we have anything under $1,000 or under is taxed. But you go into some coin shops, and a lot of times they don't really charge tax. They'll charge an extra dollar to, premium. They won't add tax onto the coin, so it saves you money in turn by them doing that, even though legally they shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, GST. Yeah, in the UK they call it VAT, value added tax. They have on silver. I think if it's pure silver, there might not be any tax on it, but if it's less than pure, that's why they have those hallmarks in the UK. They pretty much stamp everything pretty much in the UK. Every piece of silver, what the content of the silver is. Um, by law, it has to have that. So I think if it's like pure silver, there's no tax on it. But if it's less than 3 nines, fine, then they have to tax it. I don't know how it works exactly, but there's definitely a value added tax on silver in the UK. I'm not sure about gold. I don't think there's any tax on gold in the UK, but I could be wrong. Mm. But yeah, unfortunately, in 12 states, there still is tax on bullion. And they always bring up the Constitution. Was it Article 10? I don't remember, but they say silver and gold is considered real money. But it really depends on the state you're in, because each state can determine what constitutes money. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a gray area, but technically silver and gold are meant to have been used as money, and it really shouldn't be taxed. And unfortunately, when the Federal Reserve was created, that's when we started having paying taxes in this country. And they made certain laws, especially around pre-33 gold. They actually treat it as an investment for tax purposes, which I think is just ridiculous. This is real money. This is money that was used in circulation 100 years ago. Why are you taxing something as an investment if it's money? That doesn't make sense to me personally. So I'm kind of pissed off that they tax pre-33 gold. They treat it as an investment. This is money. This was used in circulation 100 years ago as money. So are you telling me 100 years from now, we're taking copper pennies out of circulation, you're going to tax copper pennies? People try to buy and sell them. It just seems so ridiculous. That's what it's the equivalent of today. So, anyways, apparently 90% of what the Perth Mint produces end up in the U.S. and Germany. Oh, I thought it was like 80, closer to 80%, Peter. But yeah, we definitely. I saw a video. I don't know whether it was bullion now, but they pretty much everything from the Perth Mint first goes to New York. So when it hits the U.S., it comes to New York. So when you go to bullion exchanges here in New York City, they prominently have in their window a lot of Perth Mint gold coins. I'm sure they're probably one of the largest distributors of Perth Mint items in the U.S., if not the largest. It wouldn't surprise me, because I don't know whether it was Michael who said that. I think he might have said that in one of the live streams, that he said it first goes to New York. So every piece of like Perth Mint silver or gold that you see originally came from New York when it came to the U.S. So yeah, that's just how it is here. with the Perth Mint items. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what was that? Uh, I love vintage. I own some small pieces related to Petroliana that I bought on the cheap that are now worth far more than what I paid for them. Yeah, that's really cool. That's awesome. Petroliana. There's just so much stuff to collect, guys. Like I used to be into watches, and now I'm really trying to sell my collection of. I have a lot of antique pocket watches. I had a lot of Rolexes that I have sold over the years, and I really want to, I'm really trying to downsize my watch collection because I really don't see a future for watches being collected in the future. It's gonna be a very narrow market for that for them. Um, yeah, yeah, you definitely got to shop smart. Definitely. What's next on your radar? What are you looking to pick up next? Um, I would like a reverse proof Libertad. that's that's probably as much as probably costs as much as this though, unfortunately. So that might be out of the question for a while, guys. I've just mostly been adding fractional gold to my stack. I haven't. I'm adding some vintage as well here and there, some rare vintage pieces. Um, I really, I really would like. Ever since I got the what is it, the 10 Corona, I've been looking at the 100 Corona coin from Hungary, and I think it has a beautiful design on it. It's a restrike. Um, so the 100 Corona, I know Bullion Exchanges actually has one in stock right now at spot, and I'm tempted to buy it. So that really is a coin that I would love to get. That's been on my radar. I think it has a beautiful design on that 100 Corona. That's something I really want to get. That and the reverse proof Libertad. Those are some really beautiful coins that I really would love to get. Hopefully by the end of this year, but we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, I made it to 2 hours. Yeah, a little bit more than 2 hours. So it's about to be 4 in the morning here. So I'm gonna probably end the stream in another 5 minutes or so. Oh man, I love doing this. I just love streaming. I love talking about precious metals and coins, and I just love it. Yeah, take care, Avocado. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody. Jerry, Peter, Renee, Paul, all you guys, other people who haven't been commenting, who have been watching. Appreciate you guys sticking around. It was really fun. Yeah, I'm starting to fall asleep, Avocado. Had a little juice, little liquid gold here. All right, take care, Avocado. Yeah, I guess we'll wrap this up. Let's go to daybreak. Wow. I don't know, Jerry. I don't know. I'm good. Gold and silver are just one of my points of interest. My collection is all over the place, and that's really great, Renee, that you have a diverse. You collect a lot of different things. You diversify your collection because you really never know what could be the next big thing. Something that could be relatively inexpensive one day could be extremely valuable the next day. So that's really good, that you collect a little bit of everything. That's great. Um, I don't know. the last like 10 plus years, I had mostly focused on watches. Um, I tried to build one of the um, I focused on a very narrow scope as far as watches. I collected a lot of pocket watches. One company in particular I focused heavily on, and I really tried to have one of the best collections for that particular brand. And yeah, I think it's just a losing battle for pocket watches because there really isn't a demand for them, these days. A lot of the people that did collect them, are in their 70s, 80s plus already, and they're starting to die off. And since 2000, eBay, the price has basically gone. It's worth maybe a quarter of what they used to be worth back then. So unfortunately, I don't really see a future, particularly for pocket watches or even wrist watches, in the future, because during the pandemic, initially the prices went down, then they skyrocketed, and now the last year or two, prices have really tanked and kind of stabilized, maybe gone up a little bit, but I really don't see a future for wristwatches in particular. I don't expect. I try to focus mostly on luxury brands that kept their value. Rolex, Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, and Vacheron. Those are usually the companies that tend to hold their value the most. But over the past couple years, prices have been stagnant, which is you really haven't seen that happen in watch collecting, where there's been ups and downs, but it's mostly been down and stagnant. I think most people under 30 really do not care about watches, and they really have no interest in them. Not to say there aren't some people that do. There are always, some people, but I think the market has really softened a lot since the pandemic for wristwatches, unfortunately. So, yeah, it's definitely good to diversify what you collect. All right, Paul. Good night. I'm about to end this as well. Um, yeah, I took a nap today as well, so that's why I'm able to stay up so late. I've been staying up late. Was it Waltham? No, it wasn't. It wasn't Waltham. I do have some Waltham watches, um, Waltham pocket watches. I probably have about 15 Walthams left. If you're interested in any Walthams, you could reach out to me, or any type of pocket watch. I have a lot of really nice railroad grade pocket watches in running order. They don't keep very accurate time, but they do run. So if anyone has any interest in pocket watches, please reach out to me. I have tons of them, and I have really great deals on them if anyone's interested in pocket watches. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna wrap this up. I just want to thank all of you for coming on tonight and sticking with me for so long. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you aren't subscribed already, please like, subscribe, and like I always say, gotta stack that gold. Take care, guys.